Okay, so this is my part two for my problem with James Gunn's DCU. So, specifically, I want to talk about style and aesthetic. Now, for the most part, I don't hate James Gunn. Like, I really like him as a director. Now, if we talk about the whole James Gunn versus Zack Snyder, I'm going to go with Zack Snyder, obviously. But I'm not a Zack Snyder cultist. I am a fan. I'm not a cultist. I definitely have some criticisms of him for myself. But when it comes to James Gunn, let's get back to that. My whole thing with him is style of storytelling and aesthetic. Now, his aesthetic worked for certain things. Like I've always said this, James Gunn is really good at more superhero stories that are the more like funny, misunderstood group of people. You see what I'm saying? Like rated R or rated mature, funny, misunderstood group of misfits. Stuff like that. Like we've seen it with Guardians of the Galaxy. We see it with Peacemaker. We saw it with his version of the Suicide Squad. Even though I kind of like the first Suicide Squad over this his version. Yes, and I said that, and I'm sticking by it because I think the first version matched up with Zack Snyder's DCU. I think the special effects look better. I think it fit a more modern day time. But when I watch James Gunn's version, I'm like, this is so fucking goofy. Like, why do you have Harley Quinn jumping in the eye of Starro? Like that, the shit just is or even at the beginning of the movie with Mongo's daughter dying. Like I don't know. That whole situation was just like, this is goofy. And my whole thing with James Gunn is that it works for certain characters. Like I definitely think it worked for Peacemaker. I really loved Peacemaker. It worked for the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I could even see him doing other characters. Like I could see him doing Booster Gold. I could definitely see him doing that. But when it comes to other characters, when it comes to the whole DC universe, no, no. I would definitely rather go with Zach because one thing about DC and Marvel, even though I love them both, like I really love them both, but I always have vibed much more towards DC because I feel like they have a much more mature, darker, more serious tone. You see what I'm saying? And when it comes to James Gunn, I just don't think he matches that tone. I always thought Zach kind of matched that tone more, especially when it comes to his version of, obviously, we saw his version of the Justice League, and we saw Man of Steel. But even just outside of that, when it comes to, Watchmen, which is DC's Vertigo, and even when we saw 300, I think he did those both perfectly. And that's the type of vibe I want when it comes to the DC universe. I don't want a goofy, lame vibe. Like even the whole, and I know a lot of OG DC fans are gonna hate me for this, especially because, they actually grew up maybe in the 80s, 70s with Superman. I'm a 2001 baby, so I like more modern shit. But even when you look at just his version of Superman right now with the costume and him having the underwear, like that shit is so goofy to me. It's some goofy goober shit. Like it looks so lame. But when you look at Zach's version of the Superman suit, it actually looks cool. You see what I'm saying? Like even the origin behind it is cool compared to this version of Superman. Now I don't know the origin of this version of Superman, but if I had to guess, they're most likely gonna go with that bullshit ass, oh, his mom knit it for him. Like that is some goofy goober ass shit. Like, and I'm not saying a superhero who creates their own costume is lame, because we saw it with Spider-Man, but with Spider-Man, it actually came out looking cool. Like, I don't know. With this, it's just lame. But the main point I'm trying to say is aesthetic and storytelling. I want, me personally as a fan, I want that serious, darker, more serious tone. That's not to say that our characters who aren't dark like Batman have to be dark. I'm not saying that. But for example, Superman. The best version of Superman to me is Superman from the Justice League Unlimited cartoons. He was both a combination of kind, stoic, you see what I'm saying? This just larger than life figure. But at the same time, when he got serious, niggas knew to step out the way, you know? And I don't know if James is going to do that. I really don't. And even specifically when it comes to this whole age situation. Like, bro, do you see how they're doing? Do you see how they're doing Hal Jordan? Make it make sense, my nigga. Why the fuck is Hal Jordan older than John Stewart? That makes no sense whatsoever, and way older than that. Mind you, that's my favorite Green Lantern. Hal Jordan's like my number one Green Lantern. So the fact that y'all are making him old and making him a veteran Green Lantern in a universe where Superman just became Superman, that's fucking retarded, my nigga. You have to have it where all of them, the main roster Justice League members are all in their prime and around the same age. The only two who should be younger is Flash and Flash and Cyborg. And I don't even really think they need Cyborg. You can put him with the Teen Titans, but Flash should be the youngest member of that group. But yeah, that's just it's a lot of other shit too, and I'm gonna definitely probably make a part 3. But those are just some of my thoughts that came to mind.